Okay, in last lecture we have completed with the unit 2. Okay, today we'll start with the unit 3, and that unit 3 is nothing but IP layer. Okay, unit 3 is nothing but the IP layer. So this unit 3 so this unit 3, that is IP layer, is consists of IP as an or network layer. That network layer is nothing but actually the layer 3 in our architecture, because in the previous lecture we have, or in the previous unit we have seen the layer 1 as a physical layer and the layer 2 as a MAC layer. So upper to that, the one more layer to the layer architecture of your IoT. So that is nothing but the network layer, and which is basically using the IP. Okay, so we are going to deal with the IP as an IoT network layer. So that will consist of the business case for the IP, the need for optimization, optimizing IP for the IoT profile, and the compliance. Okay, and again the another chapter is there. Okay, so this is the another chapter from your book actually, but it is a part of your unit number 3, application protocols for the IoT. Okay, so what kind of different protocols that you are going to use in the transport layer as well as in the application layer, and even in order to transport the data which are present in the application layer. Okay, so okay, so this part we are starting with today, IP as an IoT network layer. Yes, so the IP as an IoT network layer which is going to focus on the network layer connectivity. So in order to communicate, like just say we have seen that when we are dealing with a 7-layer architecture. Okay, there is OSI reference model, how the communication is done. Okay, so so on this what we can say, sender side, the original data is present in the application layer, then you are adding the header of another layer and doing the encapsulation, and this process continues to the physical layer. And when the when you were having the data at the physical layer, the actual transmission started. So again, when that physical layer sends the data to the another device, okay, again in the physical layer, so the physical layer is going to read out the header for the physical, then the next layer. Okay, वहाँ पे decapsulation होगा आपका, या फिर we can say you are just removing the header of each and every layer that has been attached in the reverse manner, and originally in the application layer you will get the data. Okay, but a layer to layer communication is always there. Layer to layer communication will always there. That indicates that, okay, so suppose if I am having this header plus data. Okay, so based on this header we can identify whether that whether that data belongs to which layer based on that header, because this header that has been added over here, it is nothing but the header of the protocol that belongs to the layer. Okay, so this is the header of protocol that you are going to be utilized while doing the communication. Okay, in particularly in the that layer. So if you just go for the IP as a layer, so it will focuses on the network layer connectivity. So this has been referred as a layer 3. Okay, so this is the IoT architecture that I think so we are discussing the unit number 1, right? So the IoT architecture is divided into the 2 different stacks. The first one is nothing but the core IoT functional stack, and second one is nothing but the IoT data management and the compute stack. Okay, so again I think so we have seen the things and sensors and actuator in the unit number 2. Okay, then we have started with the communication network also. We have seen the access network, gateways, and backhaul network. Okay, that in the unit number 2. so this is actually the diagram that explaining what are the different points that are discussed in the unit chapter wise. So chapter 3 chapter 2 ऐसे लिख के रखा है उन्होंने. But if you just go as per your unit, so I think so we have discussed the things and sensor and actuators in the last unit, that is unit number 2. Then we have started with the communication network. We have seen the different access technologies that are going to be used inside of IoT in the unit number 2, right? So that I think so we have discussed the LoRa, we have discussed the different wired as well as the wireless services, that is NB IoT is there, then 802.11 standard is there. Okay, then again before that we have seen the PHY layer as well as the MAC layer that is going to be utilized in order to do the communication or transmission of the data while you are using the IoT network. Okay, so this particular, that is what the IP internet protocol that you are going to utilize, this is working into the network layer, and that will be considered as a layer 3. So this is the layer 1, so that is the physical. Then you can have the MAC layer, that is layer 2, and here you are having the layer 3. Okay, here we are having the layer 3, and layer 4 is nothing but the application layer protocol. Okay, so IoT network management भी है plus application, so COAP, MQTT, HTTP. Okay, so all these are nothing but the application layer protocol. So the application layer protocol, एक मिनट ना, सर के हाँ मी आता माझं लेक्चर 4 वाजता संपते. बरं, तुम्ही बाकीचं बंद करता ना, मग हे चावी कुठे ठेवून, नाही M2ची चावी कुठे ठेव, नाही तर चावी इथं ठेवा माझ्याकडे, ही चावी ठेवा इथे, मी M2ची चावी ठेवतो तिकडे आणि सरांना देऊन टाकतो ही चावी. सांगून तसं करा, मला सांगून तसं सांगून जा, मला दरवाजा ओढून घ्या सगळं. हो ओके. Okay, so this IoT network layer, okay, will be considered as a layer 3, and now so this the study of this IoT network layer is done by using these points. The first one is nothing but the business case for the IP, where these IPs are going to be used. So this particular session from this chapter describes the advantages of the IP from the IoT perspective. Okay, so what are the different benefits of the internet protocol in regards with the IoT perspective. दरवाजा उडून दे. कोणतं? हां 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 हा दरवाजा पण ओढून घ्या, बाहेरचा आवाज येतो, ते काम करायला ना. Okay, so this network layer can be explained with the business cases for the IP. So this particular session is going to describe about the advantages of the IP from the IoT perspective. So this will give you the benefits of the internet protocol, why you must have to use this protocol in the network layer for implementation of the IoT networks. Okay, then there are some limitations. Okay, so for that purpose, so if you just go for the implementation of the IoT network, so whatever the devices that you are having, so these are the constraint devices. So as we are having the constraint node as well as the constraint device, you must have to do some optimization, so you must have to do some changes. Okay, so while deploying the IoT network by using the IP, you must have to do some changes. So that what are the different types of changes that you must have to do are going to be explained in this session. Okay, so that is what the need for optimization. So this particular session is discusses the challenges of a constraint node and the devices as well as the constraint networks when deploying the internet protocol. Okay, so as we know that we are having the limited constraint nodes that's having some limitation, power limitation, then what we can say the calculation limitation, the memory limitation. Okay, that I think so we have discussed in the unit number 1. Okay, so as we are having the limitation related to the memory, how you are going to implement the IP, because see we have seen the different classes of the devices. Okay, this is what the IoT devices, class 0 device is there, class 1 device is there, class 2 device is there. So if I just consider the class 0 device, so this class 0 device having the memory less than 5 kb or nearly equal to 5 kb, and if I am just using such kind of a devices inside of a network, I am not able to implement the protocol stack, IP protocol stack over there, or I am not able to use the IP full implementation over that device. Okay, so what kind of changes I must have to do either with the device, or what kind of any another solution can be applied over there, so that are going to be discussed in the point that is need for optimization. Then the third one is nothing but the optimizing IP for the IoT, which will consist of the protocols in the IoT networks utilizing the IP. So this give you after the optimization, what simply whatever the general network that we are having. Okay, there is IP based TCP IP network that is available with us. So we are considering the mobile phone over there, the laptops are there. Okay, laptops as well as the desktops are there. So if I just consider the single general purpose personal computer, okay, if I just consider the PC, so that can have the memory, that is you either you are using the processor with the core i3, i7, i5, or dual core, core to duo, whatever it may be the specification of the processor, but you can have the RAM nearly equal to 4 GB to 8 GB. Okay, again you are having the secondary storage. Okay, secondary storage वैसे मायने नहीं करता आपका, but the primary memory as well as the cache you are available with us. Okay, so if I just consider such kind of a devices that are present inside of a network, okay, with the help of that memory I can implement the full stack of your IP protocol. Okay, so if I am using that IP on the low end devices, so I must have to do some kind of a changes in the protocol. Okay, so जैसे आप generally general purpose PC अगर consider करते हो, so either you can just use the IP v4 as well as the IP v6 over there for the communication purpose. So you must have to do some changes in the header of this one or this one. So like we are having the 6 low pan is there. Okay, 6 low pan is there, so that is one kind of algorithm based on the IP, and that utilizes some functionality of the IPv6. So we'll discuss that 6 TISCON is there, 6 low pan is there. So and that different protocols that supports the IP are going to be discussed into the optimization optimizing the IP for the IoT. Okay, and the last one is nothing but the profile and compliances. So this is the simple things. So this will explain or gives you the elaboration of the different organization and standard bodies involved with the IP connectivities and IoT. So IP connectivity and IoT के बारे में काम करने वाले कौन से इंडस्ट्री है या फिर कौन से स्टैंडर्ड बॉडीज़ है, तो उनके नाम और उनका कुछ उन्होंने क्या क्या काम किया है, दैट हैज़ बीन देयर इन द सेक्शन प्रोफाइल एंड द compliance. So we start with the business case for the IP. So basically this business case for the IP is going to be give you the advantages of the IP in perspective with the IoT. Okay, so if you just consider the the meaning of a IP over there or the network layer, it is again going to be used inside of a communication purpose. So if I just consider any IoT network, so in the IoT network the data is flowing from or to the things is going to be consumed, controlled and or monitored by the data center server, either in the cloud or in the location that may be distributed or centralized. Depends on your application. Now consider that I am having IoT networks available with me. So inside of that IoT networks, the data is going to be flowing from or to the things. So whatever the different nodes are there, whatever the different sensors are there, so the data inside of this network is going to be communicated from one node to the another node. उसको data आ भी सकता है और जा भी सकता है. Now, so this data that has been flown inside of a network is going to be consumed, controlled और monitored by the data center server. इसके अंदर एक जैसे ये nodes है or simple we can say the sensor. So either they are having the server over there, data center server. So whatever the data that has been transmitted will be collected or controlled or monitored by these data centers. Okay, so these data centers are either present in the same location or they are present in the cloud. Okay, so अगर वो cloud में present है तो यहाँ पे एक मेरे पास में full function node रहेगा. So this node is responsible for sending the data to the server, data server which is present inside of a cloud or in the location that may be distributed or centralized. अगर centralized का example consider कर देता हूँ तो मैं ये ऐसा आ जाएगा मेरा connection. And if I just consider the distributed, so data will be sent to this particular fully function node, again one more node that is present into the another network. So distributed करके दिया है. So few of the sensors are going to send the data to this node, okay, and few of the sensors are going to send the data to this node. Or we can say that a few amount of the data is going to be stored over here, or a few amount of the data is going to be stored on the another node. That depends on the network architecture that has been implemented by you. Okay, so as देखो अब कौन सा भी आर्किटेक्चर आप इम्प्लीमेंट करो, आइदर यू आर सेंडिंग द डेटा इन द नेटवर्क और स्टोरिंग द नॉट स्टोरिंग एक्चुअली यू आर फॉरवर्डिंग द डेटा इन द नेटवर्क, विद इन द नेटवर्क. ओके, ऐसे टाइप में जब भी हम डेटा सेंड कर रहे हैं, सो एज वी आर हैविंग the sensor that are present inside of the networks with the limitation, they were having some limitation related to their power consumption, related to their memory. So we require the lightweight application, okay, lightweight application, so that communicate with the data center server, in order to send the data to or from the things. Okay, so therefore you must have to consider while building any kind of a solution that consists of IoT network, so you must have to do what? Therefore the system solution combines various physical and data link layers. Data link layers call for an architectural approach with the common layers independent from the lower as well as upper layers. So lower layers, that is what the physical as well as the MAC layer, and the upper layer is nothing but the application layer. तो अभी इसके अंदर आपको एक ऐसी लेयर कंसिडर करनी पड़ेगी, so that will give you the connection between the physical and data link layer to the application layer. Okay, so अब physical as well as data link layer ये नीचे की लेयर है आपकी, उसके बाद में application layer lower layer है. So in between this we require one more layer, and this one more layer is nothing but the IP itself. So you must have to work on this layer in order to do the communication. So this is how and why the internet protocol suite started playing the key architectural role in the IoT network. Okay, IoT network के अंदर की डेटा कम्युनिकेशन, डेटा सेंड करना है आपको, और उसके अंदर फिर okay, whenever you are building the network, that combines various physical as well as the data links layer call for an architectural approach with the common layers independent from the lower as well as the अपर. अभी ये लोअर और अपर लेयर क्यों बोला जाता है, देखो ये इसके बीच वाली लेयर क्यों कंसिडर करते हो. लोअर लेयर इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ द डेटा, कनेक्टिविटी जैसे बोला है यहाँ पे, ओके, ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ द डेटा, और इट इज़ यूज टू डू द कनेक्टिविटी. एंड अपर लेयर is the application layer and which is responsible for generation of the data. Okay, अब मुझे बताओ कि यहाँ पे आप डेटा जनरेट कर रहे हो, यहाँ पे आप डेटा सेंड कर रहे हो, तो वी रिक्वायर वन मोर लेयर, ओके, which will fits in between these two, okay, which will fits in these two and which is responsible for the communication purpose, which is responsible for communication purpose from this to this, from this to this. So again, as you are considering the IoT network, so this application, this particular layer must consist of the lightweight application. This will must consist of the lightweight application. So intermediate to this, that is what the generation of the data to the sending of a data, we require the internet protocol layer. We require the internet protocol layer. So that is how the internet protocol layer is going to be utilized inside of a IoT network. So what actually the benefits of the IP, okay, why you must have to go for the IP networks in the inside of the IoT. और the first and most important thing is nothing but, अभी जैसे आपको उसके फीचर भी पूछे जाएंगे या फिर एडवांटेजेस ऑफ द IP inside of while considering the IoT itself. So the first and most important thing is nothing but the IP is open and it is a standard base, open as well as the standard base. Open means what? It is open source. One can one can easily utilize this one, okay, without what we can say, without paying anything to the organization. And again, this IP is going to be developed by the standard organization. So in order to develop the IP, अब जैसे देखो ये IP जनरली जो हम नेटवर्किंग के अंदर यूज़ कर रहे हो, so that has been started before 30 to 35 year plus. ओके, इससे पहले कुछ वर्जन्स थे आप, यानी इससे पहले जब IP नहीं था, सो यू मस्ट हैव टू यूज़ X25 और X75 protocols in order to transmit your data, okay, or intermediate to your application and the physical layer. Okay, so the IP has been introduced and IETF is there, that is working for the implementation as well as the modification inside of the IP. Likewise, जो पहला वर्जन आया था आपका IPv4 था आपके पास में, उसके बाद में IPv6 आया. All this monitoring and controlling will be done by the IETF itself. Okay, again it is versatile. So versatile meaning this IP is going to be supported by various kind of a devices. Okay, so it can be supported on the mobile communication, जैसे आपका 2G 3G 4G, उसके अंदर भी हम IP एड्रेसिंग यूज़ कर रहे हैं. अगेन whatever the wire as well as the wireless networks are there. So for example, if you are just using the Wi-Fi standard, that is GB and N, AH specifically it is for the IoT devices, but other Wi-Fi standards are there. So again they are based on the IP itself. So this IP is going to be present this IP is going to be supported by various devices as well as the network, what we can say, the networking protocols. Okay, different devices as well as the networking protocol. Then ubiquitous, it is available everywhere. Okay, now if you just consider again this IP, you just have the IP version 4 as well as the version 6 in all kind of communication technologies, in all kind of a communication technology. Okay, again it is scalable, it can support the larger amount of devices. And as we know that nowadays IP is switching from IPv4 to the IPv6 because we're having the limitation of the device support inside of IPv4, that is limited to 2^24, right? If I just consider the class C addresses, only 2^24 devices are going to be supported, and based on your again and the application and the network support. Or we can say only 32 total 32 bits are there. If I'm just using the classless addressing and divided the bits, that is a single bit is going to be useful for the network, and remaining 31 bits are going to be used for the host inside of that network. Okay, 1 and 31. So if I'm just using a single bit, so I can have only 2 networks, and within that 2 network I can have 2^31 hosts. Right, so if I just use the 2 and 30, okay, classless है ये, अगर OS टाइप में एड्रेसिंग अगर यूज़ कर रहा हूँ, so I can have the 4 network, that is 2^2 network, okay, 4 network and 2^30 host in each network. In each network. Okay, so again there are some limitation, as it is the 32 bit long, ज़्यादा addressing capacity नहीं है, so we are moving to the IPv6. So it's having the larger capacity as compared with the IPv4. That's why अभी देखो जैसे IoT network हमने देखे थे, so that IoT network must be open source. So if you just go for the utilizing of a IP, so related to the open source, you are able to utilize this IP inside of a IoT. Again it can support various kind of a devices, okay, versatility, or we can say interoperability, that is the property of a IoT. Okay, it should be everywhere, ubiquitous. Then scalable का मतलब क्या रहेगा, larger number of a device must be supported. So inside of a IoT we must have to install multiple, or we can say larger amount of a sensors inside of a network. So that's why this IoT network must be a scalable. So in order to achieve that scalability of what we can say supporting multiple nodes inside of a single network, that can also be achieved by using the IP itself. Okay, so that's why अभी जैसे अगर यहाँ पे देखा होगा आपने, so this will describe the advantages of the IP in regards with the IoT, Okay, so the next one is nothing but the IP is manageable as well as the highly securable. So you are able to monitor the IP datagrams over the networks, okay, and they are highly secure itself. Then they are stable as well as the resilient. Okay, they are stable means what? If you just consider the IP protocol in the communication layer, okay, और इन द नेटवर्क लेयर itself, so they are working, जैसे मैंने आपको बोला था 35+ ईयर हो गए या 20 साल हो गए अभी तक जो IPv4 जब से हम यूज़ कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो इसका मतलब क्या है, दिस IPv4 इज द स्टेबल वन, okay, as well as resilient. So they are this IPv4 provides a reliable communication. ओके, नेटवर्क के अंदर कुछ चेंजेस भी हो गए, एक आधा डिवाइस छोड़ के चला गया, नया डिवाइस ऐड होते टाइम में जैसे जैसे नए नए डिवाइस ऐड हो रहे हैं तो पुराने वाले एड्रेस भी हम यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. नेटवर्क फेल्योर होता है तो उसके अंदर क्या क्या चेंजेस होना चाहिए वाईफाई के, सो दैट इज़ व्हाट द रेजिलिएंट. यानी एक आधा प्रॉब्लम अगर आकर होता है नेटवर्क के अंदर तो हाउ दिस IP इज़ गोइंग टू सॉल्व दैट प्रॉब्लम. Okay, the changing nature of the IP to provide the solution when the problems are going to be occurred. as well as most of the consumers are going to be adopted this technology for the communication purpose. So consumers market adaptation जिसे already हमने discuss किया, so this is going to be utilized by the general purpose PCs, then the laptops, as well as this technology is going to be used into the mobiles by providing the different versions of the networking, that is 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G nowadays. Okay, and the innovation factors. So the innovation factors, this indicates that we are just doing the modification as per the requirement inside of a IP. So that's why due to this, okay, जैसे changes होते आ रहे हैं IP के अंदर, so this innovation factor is again due to the open nature of the IP. As the source code is available, so one can just do the modification as per the requirement of the application development or the network development. So again you can just do the modification to this IP based on your requirement itself. So that is what the innovation factor of the IP. So these are nothing but the advantages of the IP in regards with the IoT implementation. So why should you must have to go for the इंटरमीडिएट जैसे अब पिछले इसमें देखा था हमने बिजनेस केसेस फॉर द आईपी, तो इसके अंदर देखा कि हमने इंटरमीडिएट में एक नोड इंटरमीडिएट में एक वाला नोड ये क्यों लग रहा है, व्हाट इज द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ दिस नोड. ओके, सो एज वी रिक्वायर सॉरी नॉट नोड लेयर. ओके, एज वी रिक्वायर दिस लेयर, so what kind of protocol that you must have to use inside of that layer. So why should you must have to go for the IP? So it will provides the features of IoT network through these advantages or through these characteristics. So this IP is open as well as the standard based, because whatever the अभी IoT के अंदर जो कम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी हम कंसिडर करना चाहते हो, सो वी आर यूजिंग ऑल स्टैंडर्ड प्रोटोकॉल्स फॉर देयर ओपन सोर्स. So we are able to make some changes as per the requirement. Versatile, can be supported the different kind of devices. Okay, multiple types of devices. जैसे multiple types इसका मतलब है interoperability. Okay, various type of devices is going to be there. So sensors are there, actuators are there. Sensors के भी different types है, actuator के भी different types है. Few of the devices that are only useful for the monitoring purpose, few of the devices are there which are only useful for the collection purpose, few of the devices are there which are only useful for the generation purpose. So we are having the various type of devices available inside of a IoT network. So the versatility features of the IP supports that interoperability features of the IoT. Ubiquitous, it will be available everywhere. Okay, scalable, large number of devices, manageable, so you can just monitor the flow of data if you are just using the IP as a network layer protocol. Then stable as well as the resilient, so it can just provide the throughput into the critical situation also. Okay, or output into the critical situation also. Then consumer market adaptation, nowadays we have seen many of the communication technologies uses the IP as a protocol inside of a network layer, and the openness of this IP is responsible for innovation factor. So you can just do the modification and can have your own type of internet protocol. So internet protocol, okay, IP itself. Okay, so this is all about the business case for the IP. Then we'll go for the second point, that is nothing but the need for so this is the key, the business case for IP का पहला वाला point है key advantages. Then we'll go for the adoption or adaptation of the IP. Okay, so adoption means what, why the peoples are going to, जैसे ये जनरल हो गया. ओके, adoption और adaptation के लिए standard definition है. Generally adoption we consider that whatever the communications networks available with us, जैसे यानी मॉडल्स कम्युनिकेशन मॉडल है जैसे आपके पास में, इफ आई जस्ट कंसिडर द OSI रेफरेंस मॉडल, TCP/IP रेफरेंस मॉडल, So many of the networks uses the TCP/IP communication model. So many of the people have adopted this TCP/IP. एंड एडेप्टेशन उसके अंदर कुछ चेंजेस हो गए या कैसे क्या क्या चेंजेस किए बेस्ड ऑन योर एप्लीकेशन इटसेल्फ. बट generally related to the network technology, the adaptation means, okay, the adaptations can be defined as the application layer gateways must be implemented to ensure the translation between the non-IP and the IP layers. Non-IP and the IP layers, so based on the that depends on the IoT that you are going to be use or the devices that you are going to be use inside of a IoT network. So जैसे मैंने बोला कि class 0 type of devices are nothing but they are not able, they are having the less memory, they are having the less processing speed. So and again they are battery powered. Okay, so they are non-IP devices. You are not able to implement the IP stack over there. Okay, so अब यहाँ पे adaptation क्या हुआ है कि हमारे पास में कुछ non-IP devices है. So you must have to make some changes inside of a IP so that this non-IP devices must able to translate the data to the IP devices or the IP layer itself. So जैसे यहाँ पे मेरे पास में एप्लीकेशन लेयर है, एप्लीकेशन लेयर में डिफरेंट प्रोटोकॉल्स है, या एप्लीकेशन लेयर में जो डिवाइसेस है मेरा डेटा जनरेट करने वाले हैं. सो देज आर द नॉन आईपी डिवाइसेस. तो यहाँ पे आपको क्या करना है, सो इन द अडेप्टेशन बेसिकली फॉर द IoT नेटवर्क्स, सो द अडेप्टेशन कैन बी डिफाइंड एज एन व्हाट एप्लीकेशन लेयर गेटवेज, that is what the ALG must be implemented. So यहाँ पे I must have to implement the gateway that is responsible for or that ensures the translation between the non-IP and the IP layer. So I must have to write something over there, over here, so that will transmit the data from the application layer to the IP itself, then from the application layer to the IP layer. So this is the application. उसके नीचे है आपके पास में मेरे ख्याल से the MAC layer as well as the physical layer. Okay, that is what the definition of the adaptation. While as if you just go for the adoption involves what? Replacing of all non-IP layers with their IP layer counterparts and simplifying the deployment model as well as the ऑपरेशन. बट दैट इज़ नॉट सुटेबल एक्चुअली डायरेक्टली द अडॉप्शन में क्या कर रहे हैं हम, लेते हैं किधर की तरफ से कुछ ना कुछ तो भी नई चीज़ें ले रहे हैं. ओके, जनरली यू नो द मीनिंग ऑफ द अडॉप्ट. सो अडॉप्शन इनवॉल्व्स द रिप्लेसिंग ऑफ ऑल नॉन IP layers with their IP layers counterpart. But basically when we go for the adoption, so this will give you the limitation with the IoT network, because inside of a IoT we can have the combination of the non-IP as well as the IP layers itself. Okay, so the supervisory control and the data acquisition are nothing but the example. That is what the SCADA application, that is supervisory control and the data acquisition, which is mostly going to be used or utilized inside of an industry. So the SCADA applications are the typical example of the IP adaptation model as well as the adoption मॉडल. सो दे हैव, अभी जैसे ये इंडस्ट्री के अंदर हमने यूटिलाइज किए थे, तो इंडस्ट्री के अंदर जैसे मशीनरी आपको ऑपरेट करनी है, सो मशीनरी ऑपरेट करना है आपको. सो लेट सपोज आई वांट टू कंट्रोल द लेथ मशीन. पुराने लेथ मशीन अगर मैं कंसिडर करता हूँ और उसको कंट्रोल करना है मुझे या मॉनिटर करना है विद द रिमोट प्लेस, और I have to do the action or I have to work on the lathe machine remotely. So at that time you must have to go for the SCADA application. So whatever the mechanical devices are there, so they are the non-IP. उसको तो हम वो physical devices है, उसके अंदर ना कौन सी चिप है ना कुछ नहीं है, नेटवर्क कार्ड्स नहीं है उसको, तो उसको हम रिमोटली कैसे एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, तो उसके लिए आपको इंटरफेस लिखना पड़ेगा. सो द SCADA इज़ एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ the IP adaptation model as well as the adoption model. So both the things are going to be used. So it having the application layer gateway that will ensure the translation between the non-IP as well as the IP layer, as well as there are some things जैसे मैंने आपको एग्जांपल बताया था कि एक तो हम इंटरफेस दे के उसको रिमोटली एक्सेस कर सकते हैं। इंटरफेस अगर नहीं दे सकते तो नई मशीनरी लाओ जिसके अंदर आईपी लेयर है। Nowadays I am having the lathe machine which having the interface of the computer directly. One chip is over there, or the embedded device is over there, so that is responsible for remotely accessing that lathe machine. So this SCADA is an example. That is what the utilize SCADA ऐसे छोड़ दो, the utilization of the industrial IoT is an example of IP adaptation as well as the adoption model. So another example is nothing but the Zigbee solution that runs on the non-IP stack between the devices as well as the Zigbee gateway that forward the traffic to an application server. अब जैसे ये Zigbee का काम क्या है, Zigbee is responsible for getting the data from the sensor itself. So sensors are nothing but the non-IP devices, but this Zigbee node which is present inside of a network is based on the IP, and that will act as a gateway for you, and this Zigbee gateway is responsible for transmitting the data to the application server. So here this Zigbee is an example of the adaptation. Okay, this is not the adaptation, यानी adoption में क्या कर रहे हो हम, नॉन आईपी लेयर जो है या नॉन आईपी डिवाइसेस है दैट हैज़ बीन रिप्लेस विद द आईपी बेस्ड डिवाइसेस। और एडाप्टेशन में क्या होता है, हम एक इंटरफेस जनरेट करते हैं दैट इज़ रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द कम्युनिकेशन और द ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ द डेटा बिटवीन द नॉन आईपी एंड द आईपी। ओके, समझ में आता है एडॉप्शन एज वेल एज द एडॉप्टेशन। सो whenever you are just doing or just implementing the model based on the adoption or adaptation, or when you just go for the implementation of the IoT network that consists of the IP itself, so you must have to consider the following points. So following factors are taken into consideration to determine which model is best suited for the last mile connectivity. So that is based on the bidirectional versus the unidirectional data flow. How your data flow, so whether the data flow is the bidirectional or the unidirectional. Bidirectional का मतलब देखो, जैसे हम सेंसर कंसिडर करते हैं तो सेंसर का काम खाली क्या है कि वो डेटा यहाँ से सेंस करना है और फुल्ली फंक्शनल नोड को वो सेंड करना है। तो इसका मतलब ये कम्युनिकेशन जो हो रहा है वो खाली यूनिडायरेक्शनल है। अगर हमारे पास में दो अलग से नोड है और यहाँ से डेटा वापस से यहाँ पे कुछ आ रहा है, तो इसका मतलब वो कौन सा होगा आपका बाय डायरेक्शनल। बट व्हेन वी गो फॉर द IoT नेटवर्क, व्हेन वी डिप्लॉय एनी IoT नेटवर्क विद द different what we can say, with the different sensors available with us, so these sensors are only able to transmit their sense data from the sensor to the server or data collection device or the data collection device. Okay, so at that time or in the most of the cases you must have to go for the unidirectional data flow implementation of the network. So उस टाइम में बायडायरेक्शनल आपको लगेगा नहीं, क्योंकि जब भी हम ऐसे यूज़ करते हैं बायडायरेक्शनल डेटा फ्लो अगर यूज़ किया तो उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कॉस्ट ज़्यादा रहेगा। उसके बाद में बायडायरेक्शनल में कैसा है, आपका अपलोडिंग एज वेल एज डाउनलोडिंग दोनों रहता है, तो बैटरी पावर कंजम्पशन ज़्यादा बढ़ता है, आपका बैंडविड्थ डिवीजन होता है। ओके, देन नेक्स्ट वन इज नथिंग बट द ओवरहेड ऑफ द लास्ट माइल कम्युनिकेशन पाथ। ओवरहेड ऑफ द लास्ट माइल कम्युनिकेशन पाथ, अब जैसे कंसिडर करके चलो, ये ओवरहेड का मतलब इट इज़ द साइज ऑफ द हेडर, ओके, कंपेरेटिवली विद द डेटा अवेलेबल विथ यू। अब जनरली कैसे करते हैं कि हमारे पास में अगर मैंने TCP/IP मॉडल कंसिडर किया तो एप्लीकेशन लेयर में आपका डेटा तैयार हो रहा है, ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर में हम यूज़ करते हैं आइदर TCP और UDP। नेटवर्क लेयर के अंदर हम यूज़ कर रहे हैं IP। एंड फिजिकल और डेटा लिंक लेयर में हम यूज़ करते हैं द ईथरनेट स्टैंडर्ड, बराबर है। उसके बाद में आपका डिवीजन होता रहेगा, डेटा अगर ज़्यादा रहेगा। अब मुझे बताओ ये टीसीपी या यूडीपी अगर मैं कंसिडर कर देता हूँ तो ये टीसीपी की हेडर साइज़ आपकी रेंज करती है 20 to 24 बाइट्स, यूडीपी 8 बाइट्स। हेडर, हाँ हेडर की साइज़ में बता रहा हूँ आपको। आईपी भी मेरे ख्याल से 20 to 24 बाइट्स के रेंज में है आपका। ईथरनेट फ्रेम हम वैसे के वैसे रह देंगे क्योंकि वी रिक्वायर द फ्रेम दस हैविंग द हेडर, जैसे फिजिकल में देखा था हमने। बट अभी कंसिडर करके चलो कि मेरे पास में सेंसर है, उस सेंसर का काम यानी या स्मार्ट नोड है मेरे पास में, एक स्मार्ट नोड है। सो उस स्मार्ट नोड का काम क्या रहेगा, डेटा सेंस करना और उसको डेटा फॉरवर्ड कर देना है वो। ओके तो वो डेटा जैसे मेरे पास में दिस इज़ द स्मार्ट नोड, 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 एंड दे आर जस्ट सेंडिंग द डेटा टू द फुल्ली फंक्शनल लोड विच इज़ प्रेजेंट इनसाइड ऑफ ए नेटवर्क। इसको डेटा वो सेंड कर रहे हैं, ऐसे कंसिडर करके चलो। अब यहाँ पे यूनिडायरेक्शनली लगेगा क्योंकि डेटा हमेशा सेंसर की तरफ से ये कलेक्शन नोड को जाने वाला है। डेटा ऑलवेज गो फ्रॉम सेंसर टू द कलेक्शन नोड। ओके अब यूनिडायरेक्शनल डेटा फ्लो एक वाला पॉइंट। उसके बाद में अगर अभी यहाँ पे जो डेटा जनरेट हो रहा है, सेंसर का डेटा बिट्स के अंदर रहेगा आपका रिप्रेजेंटेशन करने के लिए, जो वैल्यूज़ जो रहेगी वट जैसे टेम्परेचर सेंसर है। इफ द टेम्परेचर सेंसर इज गोइंग टू बी सेंस द डेटा, आइदर दे आर सेंसिंग द डेटा इन टर्म्स ऑफ एनालॉग और इन द टर्म्स ऑफ ए digital, but still the data can be represented with the bits itself। बाइट भी नहीं लगते मेरे को। अब जैसे मैक्सिमम करके चलो बिट्स के अंदर नहीं हो रहा है, 1 बाइट के अंदर आपका डेटा जो रहेगा दैट इज द इंफॉर्मेशन दैट हैज़ बीन सेंस्ड बाय द सेंसर। 1 बाइट की इंफॉर्मेशन है और उसके लिए आपको 24 का हेडर ये लग रहा है, फिर से 24 का हेडर ये लग रहा है, यानी 48 बाइट एक्स्ट्रा लग रहे हैं इन ऑर्डर टू सेंड यू अ सिंगल बाइट ऑफ ए डेटा। ओके दिस इज लाइक व्हाट, 4 आण्याची कोंबडी आणि 12 आण्याचा मसाला, राइट। सो दैट शुड नॉट बी अ केस वेन एवर, यानी इसका मतलब अभी देखो यहाँ पे क्या है, ओवरहेड इज देयर, दैट इज व्हाट हेडर साइज इज ऑलवेज ग्रेटर comparatively with the data available inside of that packet. So that you must have to consider overhead for the last mile communication path. Then the data flow model, how the data is going from, okay, or coming from inside of a network, as well as the network diversity, So what kind of devices are going to be supported, how the data is communicated, how the device is going to be supported inside of a network. All these factors are taken in consideration when we are again implementing the IP based IoT architecture, IP based IoT network. Okay, so these are nothing but the factors that you must have to consider while determining whether you must have to go for the adoption or adaptation model for the last mile connectivity or for the transmission of the data. Okay, so this is all about your business case. Okay, अभी इसके अंदर क्या बताया उन्होंने, IP कहाँ पे यूज़ होता है, क्यों यूज़ करना है, उसके एडवांटेजेस क्या है, okay, and what actually the adoption as well as the adaptation of the IP, and what are the points that are to be considered when you are dealing with the IP based IoT network. Okay, so there are again some limitation with the IP itself when you are utilizing that IP inside of a IoT. So in order to handle this limitation, you must have to optimize this IP. Okay, so that is what the need for optimization. So this need for optimization and the remaining point. So this need for optimization can be overlooked by providing the solution to the challenges that has been faced by the IP inside of the IoT. So that can be वो यानी कहाँ कहाँ पे ऑप्टिमाइजेशन हम कर सकते हैं, क्या क्या रीज़न है, क्यों करना है ऑप्टिमाइजेशन आपको, वाई वी रिक्वायर द optimization, because inside of a IoT network we are having the constant node, we are having the constant networks, as well as we are having the different IP versions. Okay, so that's why you must have to do some optimization over there. Okay, and then you must have to utilize the IP inside of a IoT. So what kind of a optimizations that is required, that we'll discuss into the next lecture. So we'll stop here. Anybody having any question?